Job. Something very strange happens there. Okay, you know the story. What happens after Job experiences the catastrophe? 3 friends come. You remember, 3 theologic friends who all try to justify the catastrophe. One tells him God is just, so even if you didn't do anything wrong, you must be wrong. You have to do something wrong. The other tells him God is testing you and so on. So they all try to make sense of the catastrophe. And the greatness of Job is that he rejects this. He doesn't claim I'm pure saint. He just claims I didn't deserve this. This what? These 3 ideologists. This is the function of ideology. A catastrophe happens and then ideology comes to tell us why we deserved it. The beautiful thing is that then when God appears, as you know, basically he tells, not basically, explicitly, he tells everything Job said is right, everything the 3 theologists said is wrong. And then it goes even further. You remember when then finally Job asks God, so why did this happen to me? God does something very ambiguous when he starts to boast, you know, when I created these, that, those monsters, where were you, who are you to talk? This is usually read as divine arrogance, like, who are you to talk about it, miserable man, I created all that. Chesterton proposes the opposite reading, that this is a perplexed God. Basically, God is answering Job, you think you are in trouble. Look me, I created a totally chaotic universe, I don't know what's going on and so on. Like, God, again, is overwhelmed by the confusion of his own creation. And the way I read it, then, is that what dies on the cross with the death of Christ is not just an incarnation of God. This can happen in any paganism. God of beyond itself dies, himself dies. In what sense? You know this absolutely disgusting metaphor, I hate it, of religion, when they say something appears as horror or sin to us. When this happens, it's as if you are looking at a picture from too close and you see just a stain. But when you step back properly, you see that what appeared as a stain is part of the harmonious image. And the idea is, it's the same with reality. We are too close into it, we see only the evil, the suffering. If you step back, you see what we see as suffering contributes to the harmony of the whole. And this I found pretty tasteless, like, you know, like, will you also say a Holocaust is a catastrophe because we are too close to it? From proper distance, Holocaust contributes to divine harmony. I claim that this role of God dies with Christ. When Christ, as it were, dies and becomes man before, he jumps into his own creation. It's a kind of a ultimate admission of impotence. It is, I cannot make sense of it. It's up to you, Holy Spirit, which means the collective of believers. The ultimate message of Christianity is not, do your job and don't worry, God will take care of it, that it will finish well. This is still paganism for me. The message of Christianity is not trust in God. It is, God put a terrible burden on us, God trusts us. We are free, it's up to us to do. This message, and only within this message, equality, true justice are possible, and so on and so on. It's, I will stop now, sorry, but it's along these lines. If you want to know more, buy the books. It's common to say that in 89, 90, with the fall of the wall, that utopia died, and that finally we reached the era of maturity and realism, accepting capitalist democracy as the only realistic model and so on. But I think that the true utopia were precisely the 90s. The Fukuyama utopia where precisely we thought we found, if not the best possible, at least the least bad system, realistically the best possible. I think that the lesson of the first 10 years of the new millennium is the death of this true utopia. First, September 11th, its meaning is simply for me, liberal capitalism is not a universal answer. It will not be slowly spread around the world, and the ongoing financial crisis, which also means economic liberalism will not work. The lesson is not that we need another mechanism and so on. The lesson of this, what is for me the ingredient of utopia, the true ingredient? It's for me depoliticization. You know, utopians are not idiots. They don't claim, oh, we can create a perfect world. They always accept that people are evil, egotistic, and so on. What utopians, all of them, if you read them, claim is only, I discovered a mechanism and we just have to apply this mechanism, and even if the people are evil, their very egotism will work for the common good somehow. And in this way, we no longer need old-fashioned politics, ideological struggles, and so on. We just need the mechanism, and we just have to allow the mechanism to work. This is the core of utopia, as it were. And I think that, again, this died in the recent financial crisis. Most explicitly, in the words of one of the great advocates, maybe even the personification of the utopia of the 90s, Alan Greenspan. I don't know if you can find it on internet, how when he was questioned in American Congress and a Democratic congressman asked him directly, do you admit the flaw in your utopia? And almost tragically, Greenspan, using this very word, said, yes, there is a fundamental flaw in my ideology, and so on. So, again, this doesn't justify a new Marxist utopia in the old sense. It just means, and with all my doubts about Obama, he got it here right. No, society is not a mechanism which can be run through some market or whatever neutral procedure. Politics is back. We need ideological so-called debates, we need large-scale social political decisions, and so on and so on. Una nota ironica. I noticed how you stumbled with the word depoliticizzazione. I think this is, it's a joke, irony, one of the great left theoretical strategies to designate the big concept. You need a long word which is difficult to pronounce, like Deleuze, like deterritorialization and so on. So if it's a long word difficult to pronounce, it has this effect, you know, there must be something in it, but we don't have time to go into this analysis.